welcome to Divine Horses and Humans. I'm Jason J. Divine, the Dyslexic Horse Guy, puzzle solver, problem solver, and solutions. I'm a solution, right? Because I don't think like the average person. I think outside the box. Well, there is no box. I see it before I feel it. Okay, right. So first off, let's show a bit of vulnerability. Dyslexic time. It's 7:45 in the AM on the 21st of June, 2025. The longest day here in Britain, and it's going to be a hot one. So I just thought what I'd show you, because this is another problem that I experienced in the British equine industry. They have to tie horses off. They can't just go, right, I want you to stand there, like that. Right, and if I walk off, she should just stand there. Right, so I'm just going to keep walking because there is no need for her to go anywhere, okay? Right, I'm the leader in this relationship, right? It's not about the destination, it's about the journey, but the most important thing of all, it's about the companionship between me and the horses. And that should be the same for you. So, let's say for instance, right, if you haven't got certain things in place with horse because you've got no foundation, like that, she moved but she followed the feel. So if she moves, what I could do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want you to stand there, and then I move away, she stands there. So if you use the correct pieces of equipment to be able to have a conversation with a horse, webbing halter doesn't work, SH1T lead ropes that are this long don't work. You have to have 12, 14 foot of rope, and it has to be a rope halter. It's lighter and it is a signal piece of equipment, so you can have a conversation. So if you've got a horse that as soon as you go up here and you put your foot in the stirrup and you go to mount up and you get halfway there and they start walking off, what have you got in your arsenal to address that? No, you'll keep letting them walk off because I've seen it 1,000 times in the British equine industry. Worked in the industry for over 25,000 hours, that's over 10 years, and that's not including the hours I've spent with horses. And it's a huge problem because they don't know how to address it. They don't address it. And then when their horse bolts off on them, right, because he's fearful, they don't know what to do because they haven't got anything on the ground. They've got no foundation. So if a horse walks off and they take 4 steps forward and you're just going up here like this, get off and go, right, no, I want you to back up, back up, back up, back up. Right, and you stand there. As I said, and if you keep doing it, you keep practicing that. You can do it with your bridle on them, with a bit in their mouth. So you'll just get hold of the reins down here and you'll just go back up, back up. So if a horse actually starts to take off on you and you feel that that's gonna, you've got this thing that's a backup, right? But like what I said, and like I say it, if you're gonna do that, right? Once she backs up, you've got to leave her alone for a bit. So she's like, oh right, if I don't walk off, I get left alone. Right? Don't just back her up and then put your foot in the stirrup and get all impatient and then turn into the Incredible Hulk. It's not going to work. See, so she's walked off. We're like, right, okay. So, you know, you can back up, you can back up, you can back up. And I'll come over here and I'm going to leave her alone. It's okay, she took half a step forward, but I'm going to come over here and I'm going to leave her alone. Right, because she needs to understand to stand still. That the conversation I'm having with her is, you stand there and I'll stand here. And when I come up to here, And then you've got to even have the saddle on it. You just do a bit of jumping up and down, bit of energy. That's it. That's all you've got to do. Come to the other side, jump up and down. You haven't even got to have a saddle on. So for that, she can come with me now because we're on a journey together. So it's going to be really hot here today. So fly spray time. Not sponsored by this product. So here we go. Right, so she stood still. I just stop. Because the more you do it like this, the more respect you've got for your horse and the more respect you have for yourself. Because now she's starting to move. I've got to keep going. 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 And she stopped. And that's just cost me more fly spray. Because when I'm teaching this, I just use water in one of these bottles. But this is actual fly spray. And at £26 a bottle, $38 a bottle, ridiculous. So, here we go again. See, and I'm very guilty, I always start here. And so many human beings do that because we fall into a pattern. So maybe I should come back here and start. You need to switch it up all the time with them. And this mumbo jumbo that's out there, now I'm going to give her eyes a little wash. This mumbo jumbo that's out there about, once you've done groundwork with a horse, you no longer need to do groundwork with a horse, it's all sorted out. So I'm going to put my hand up here, my left, and I'm going to come in here. And now she's moved away, so I'm going to keep going at her. I'm going to keep going at her. Now she's just moved into me. So talking about left, it's 10 to 8 in the AM, 21st of June 2025. It's the longest day. So I'm trying not to grab the halter because that's where a problem can occur, because you don't know they've been trapped, right? So I'm doing rub with my left arm, come in with my right, where I should go with my right arm and come upwards. So she's like, no, I want you to put your head down. There you go, put your head down. There you go. Right, she's not moving away from it now, and I stop. So let's go and do the other eye. There's that licking and chewing thing again. So something's going on in that brain. So once again, I'm going to left hand here and I'm going to come upwards, not over. I said, you're permanently, there, she dealt with it. So she dealt with it. She dealt with it. She dealt with it there. You're permanently learning. You're permanently becoming a better person when you do stuff like this with horses. Right, now for a bit of suntan lotion. Because this is who you're working on. You're working on yourself. Right? See that? See, if I hold the head collar, she thinks trouble's going to turn up. Where trouble's not turning up, I'm just trying to convince her that there's a better way. That's it. I'm going to keep applying it because she's turning away. That was my fault. I kept going. There, she turned into me. I should have stopped earlier. And keep going at it. We're all guilty of it. Human beings are like that because you're not nine. I'm nine. I can't even say the word. Dyslexia again for you. Neurodiverse, right? I don't think in straight lines. So she's just moved, so she goes back. She goes back. She goes back. And I tell you this as well. Right? When horses do that, and they go off into the distance like she did, right? That's when you need to be highly aware of them. Hugely aware of them. Because you'll see all these pictures of horses, ears forward, looking off into the distance, going, oh, you know, look how amazing that horse looks. Well, that It's like them putting a big sign up above their head going, trouble's out there, there's something not right. And that's why I'm off looking over there, because there's something not right. So now I'm in a freeze mode. So when you go into freeze mode, when a horse goes into freeze mode, they are thinking about, what do I do here? What do I do? And a lot of human beings will interpretate that as calmness, okay? And as I said, this whole thing of when they're off in the distance is when they're hugely dangerous, because they're not paying attention to you. They're not aware of you. They've become self-preservation mode, Roman road mode, straight on. And that's why I say, if they're tensing the spine, they're tensing the mind. So you have to be very aware of that, okay? Because when they sort of freeze, right, they're either going to run away or they're going to fight. And if they're in a box or something, they can't really fight. No, I want backwards, I don't want forwards. They can't really fight. Sorry, they can't really flight. There's dyslexia again for you. Getting things back to front. All they've got left is to fight. And as I said, Palida, we rescued her. They blatantly lied to us about what sort of state she was in. She's got a few issues going on, but I'm not going to write her off, and I'm not going to just throw her out in the field, and she's not ridden anymore. But I'm trying to give her a foundation and trying to convince her that this human being, I ain't worried about other humans, this human being, no. This human being is not going to run her into trouble. Get the head over. Usually the rest of the body will follow. Whoa, steady. She worked it out. But that's what I'm saying. This is what horses, that was a bit of adversity. That was a bit of going through discomfort to find comfort. Because you can learn from that. The more you go through discomfort, the more comfortable you're going to become in that uncomfortable situation. So, the tarp. Right, let's just pretend that this here is all hay. And horses definitely, you know what, in my experience, have a problem with this colour blue. And as I said, she's just investigated, that's good. So, I'm going to direct her, support her, and let her look at it through her left eye. Whee, I got it right. And then I'm going to turn her back, go right, go and look at it through your right eye. So, I said before, and I'll say it again, no, get on with it, no. Like I've said before, and I'll say it again, you train two sides of a horse and you ride two sides of a horse to make a whole horse. And this actually gives you a lot more of a horse, because you're increasing a thing in their brain called dendrites. Go Google what dendrites are. Right? They have a very, very small frontal lobe. Go Google what a frontal lobe is in the brain. And that doesn't give them reason. That doesn't give them reason. It's just run away. If you can't run away, fight. Not being belligerent, not being arrogant, not being ignorant. They're not a human being, they're a horse. So, through my 25,000 hours of working in the British equine industry, the biggest problem I found was these wheelie bins. Right? Okay, we're on the right. So certain horses on certain yards would be okay when I went out with them, because the bins would be over on that side, on the left. But as soon as I came back in with them, and they were seeing it through the right, could you see how she doesn't want to go and engage? She wants to just come in on me. No, get on with it. she won't investigate it on her right. But there she goes, she's giving it 2 eyes, and now I'm going to ask her to come and look at it, and I'm going to ask her to just pop her nose over it, what she is. Right, so she's done a good job, so I need to do a bit of like comforting, a bit of petting, a bit of friendly, we're all good, you're not going to die. And let's see what we've got to lower her head. So I'll take a lower ground because she needs to do that, and I get her to lower her head. Right, so in my dyslexic world of thinking, this is freeing their spine up. They're freeing their spine. They're not taut. And if they're taut, cortisol's floating around. And I say that because in my experience of cortisol, that's fear, that when it turns up, all my muscles would go taut. I'd get seriously taut through my neck and get that, oh, my neck is so stiff. And it was because cortisol had turned up and I'd gone into flight mode. And after you've been in flight mode and you've gone through flight mode, or you're frozen because you've got to make a decision of what I'm going to do here to survive, or you've actually fought, you've actually got in a fight and you've got away from it, because if you get in a fight, you're going to get in a fight and then you're going to run away from it to get away from it. And then you're going to stand there and go, wow, you're going to look around and go, oh, that's it, we're far enough away now. Sympathetic nervous system. And you are going to feel pretty exhausted. You're going to probably yawn. You're going to definitely go, and you're going to feel this tension leave your body, right? But after it, your muscles will hurt. And this is why, if you watch horses, come on, get on with it. If you watch horses, get on with it. If you watch horses in fields, you'll see them. You'll see them grow. You'll see them get 6 inches bigger. Come on. And it's like, so this whole backing up deal, right, you need to get your bum over there, no, you need to get, no, that's not what I want a bit more straightness out of you, nope, I want some straightness out of you. Right, I've got to have a thought process of what I want and where I want her to go. Right, I'm going to accept that, I'm going to want, no, right, I want some straightness. Yeah, you've checked it out, you know it's there. Right, back it up. Get your hind over. Get your hind over. Now back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Go on. Right, and then I'm going to leave her alone. I'm going to drop the stick. Just going to leave her alone. She's got her feet on it, that's good enough. So, this is why I'm talking about this, because it's not talked enough about in the British equine industry about your mindset. It's just not talked about enough. And the reason I talk about it is the reason because I grew up being severely dyslexic, branded as an idiot, stupid, never going to make it, got no qualifications, I'm no good to anybody, went to work in the British equine industry, and basically they kept treating me the same. They treated me as a glorified labourer, and when I got problems sorted out with their horses, they would punish me. Right, so I wanted to know in my journey why I felt anxious all the time. And I felt anxious as long as I can remember. I come from a very checkered background. I've been through some quite traumatic stuff, very traumatic stuff. And I wanted to know, why do I feel the way I feel? Then I discovered this sympathetic nervous system thing. Right? And the reason I discovered that, because I wanted to learn more about how horses' brains worked, that led me to learn more about how my brain worked, right? And one of the biggest things when I was going to the specialists, they kept telling me, right, you're suffering with anxiety, right? Best form of medicine for anxiety is move your feet. Do some exercise, move your feet. Don't just sit there doing nothing and catastrophizing it, making it bigger. But we're doing something. We're actually doing something. Because your horse needs to get used to this sort of stuff, because this is what stupid humans do. We do unpredictable stuff. We move fast, we shut our hands fast, we go, yeah, because we go like Incredible Hulk mode. And that's why I'm here to talk about the sympathetic nervous system. And that's why I'm here to talk about how horses literally saved my life in every sense of the word. They've taught me more about me than any human being. They've been a better therapist for me than any human being. And I'm here to share this thing that's not talked about in the British equine industry, because the British equine industry is lying. They will tell you potions, I call all the gear and no idea. Snake oils, potions, horse whispering, all of this BS. But this is just psychology. That's all it is. It's psychology, and I think it's lateral thinking instead of direct thinking. Instead of going like that, you've got to go like this. Because when a horse gets straight on in their mind, right, you've got nothing left but apart from being a passenger. Unless you can do this. What they would call, that is what they would call a one rein stop. So if your horse bolts off, you can bend them and you can get them to disengage their hind. She's not doing a very good job of it. There you go. And the thing with horses, it's black and white makes it right. Yeah, I'm asking, now I'm telling. And this whole philosophy theory of mine, it's a dyslexic philosophy and it's a dyslexic theory. There's plenty of other horsemen in North America doing this stuff, and now in South America. Right, I didn't want that, but I did twiddle the stick and the string, so she read something, and this is where I'm saying horses, masters of reading body language, absolute masters at reading. So I need to give her a little rub. Let me do that. And this theories and philosophies of this dyslexic horse guy that works on the ground, that will no longer work on the ground in the British equine industry, is just trying to share knowledge and educate people that it's a better way. Because there's organisations out there that want to stop us from having horses, competing with horses and so much more. So at that one, thanks for popping for that. Do what you need to do, click, unclick, right, whatever you need to do, you're going to do it. I'm not going to waste my time telling you to do it, because you've got your own brain, and that's what needs to be used more in the British equine industry. So that one, I'll catch you in the next one.